Peace. Yo, it's like, I was thinking about like 120, and it's like, 120 is like a manual, right? And what it does is it gives you a whole system of word problems, you know what I mean, in the form of mathematical procedures. You know what I'm saying? When you think of, like, you maybe take it to the Bill degree in the 140s. What makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes? It's a part of the degree, and it says that this water is never drawn above 6 miles from the Earth's surface by the sun and the moon. The reason that it rains back onto our planet is because this water cannot get out of the Earth's atmosphere with its high speed of rotating makes it impossible. That is a procedure, but it's also highlighting, quite a few living principles. For example, that mist, it also says in that degree that it's a fine mist. You know what I'm saying? That the naked eye can hardly detect. And it's like a lot of times, especially in relationships, brothers, they could be drawn up by this female because she's fine as shit. That's like, pun intended. But yeah, she's fine, you know what I mean? And usually, she's in a mist that his naked eye can hardly detect because he's looking all at her with his naked eye. You know what I'm saying? He ain't looking at her with his mind. You know what I'm saying? It took me a long time and many years to understand that. You know what I mean? I still go through, gaining understanding of that, but I understand it in principle. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times the procedure is not always there. That's why it's good to have those degrees or those lessons, because they give you and they highlight those procedures, It says this water is never drawn above 6 miles. So it's like, you look at Mount Everest. Mount Everest is 29,141 feet high. That's approximately 5.5 miles. So 6 miles above the Earth's surface, meaning that this water is never drawn above Mount Everest. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of times, you may be dealing in a situation or relationship or whatever, and especially because sisters, women, they understand their magnetic power. You know what I'm saying? In regards to like how they rotate, but getting them to understand their revolution is a whole different subject matter. But it's like, this water is never drawn above, and it's like water is symbolic of wisdom, because like I told you, wisdom is indicative of discernment, and discernment is a situation-based science. You know what I'm saying? Wisdom is something that's applicable based upon the situation, because right now you could be all wise, and like I said, on a wisdom cipher day, I think it was, you could look like an all-wise person in the morning, but be looking like an ass later on. You know what I'm saying? So based upon the decisions or the judgments that you make in the situation determines if wisdom is actually present there. You know what I mean? So when it says this water is never drawn above 6, it's like 6 is, you look at 6 in English, that's 6. You look at 6 in Latin, and that is sex. You look at 6 in Greek, and that's hex. So a lot of times, on a negative side, you know what I'm saying, women could hex you with the sex and get you caught up in 6. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that mist or that mind or that wisdom can never be drawn above the Earth's surface. So the Earth being the physical manifestation of the woman, a lot of times a man's mind can't get off that ass. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's a high-ass speed of rotating, because it's like, oh, shit, you know what I'm saying? Damn, you know what I mean? Got you in La La Land, you know what I mean, on a merry-go-round and shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, this water is never drawn above the Earth's surface by the sun and the moon, so even though that's her physical form, it's the moon and the sun, meaning that you're partial You know what I'm saying? You have shit to do with it too. You and her mind, in conjunction, has a magnetic a magnetic influence on her planet. So if you giving her all this attention, like, you know, your physical form is the best part, and she definitely looking at herself like, shit, I'm the shit, you know what I'm saying? Then obviously that's gonna create a magnetic pull on a planet, and you're never gonna be able to rise above 6. Or it's like you look at Mount Everest, a lot of that, you know, that her sexuality seems insurmountable sometimes, and I've been there. Like, damn, man, you know, you just can't get up out of the power you. But it's like, you know, 6 is 6. That's sex, 6 hex, and God is above 6. So, you know, you got to be able to rise above that. You know what I'm saying? As long as you stay stuck in wisdom, the woman's wisdom, then you can't rise above that 6 miles and get an understanding, because wisdom is 2, and above wisdom is understanding. So it's difficult to get a bird's eye view or third's eye view of the situation if you're caught up in the sexuality and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that, you know, all women use a 6 or they sex as a hex, you know what I mean, or the 6 sextillion tons of the planet. It's like, you know, that's how they look at their entire weight of what they bring to the motherfucking table. But it's like, if a man isn't strong enough to rise above that surface, that shit could be a hex to him. He could hex his own self. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, wizards, y'all could encourage, women, a lot of y'all could encourage that shit too, because, you know, a lot of times it's like, you know, I said in one of my rhymes, I said, I know cats carry Atlas on their back, with the earth on top of that, using birth to enslave him to her habitat. And it's like, you know, being subjected to the surface. You know what I'm saying? It's like you take it to that born degree in the 1 to 40, and it says, they know that it rains, hail, snows, and also hear thunder above their heads, but do not try to learn who is causing all this to happen by letting the 5% teach them. They believe in the 10% on face value. So being stuck, you know what I'm saying, or you know, subjected to the earth's surface, or being caught up in 6, that's the same thing as believing things on face value. You know, even though you know that it rains, hail, snows, and you also hear thunder above your head. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times being caught up in that power you and shit, it's like you don't want, you know, to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, you learn that lesson and shit. That's like what I call Wile E. Coyote plus degrees and shit, because, you know, you be blowing your shit up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like women are very, you know, the earth is the home of Islam. The earth is the home of I, self, Lord, and Master. That's what it tells you in the knowledge degree in the 140s. And, you know, history is equal to the circumference of the planet. You know what I'm saying? Every square mile. So, you know, a square, you look back in the day, slang for square is just a corny motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you dealing with that whole science of being caught up in 6, and that earth is your home, or you just living in the power you. You know, your history is written every square fucking mile, because you want some square shit. You ain't being really true. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want some square shit. You know what I'm saying? So in order to renew your history, you gotta let that shit last. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, you know, you gotta let that shit run its course, so that you can renew your history and write something different than this new Quran. You know what I mean? But it's like Quran means to recite, so basically you gotta be speaking some other shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like kind of what I wanted to build about a little bit. I know it's a lot of other sciences I could get into and shit like that, and you know, you know, dealing with the science to save equality unknown. You know what I mean? It's like, once you get to that level, or you able to ascend Mount Everest, that's when that's the reality of God, because that's where you above the clouds now. You above the clouds. Peace.